back to the podcast today. As always, we are joined by our hosts, Jerry Galindo and Lidia Rodriguez. I am Natasha Gonzalez, and today we are also joined by Ms. Jackie and Ms. Ivania from Access for Sex Education. So do you guys want to go ahead and introduce yourselves?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm Ivania. I am a third-year student here at UTRGV and I'm studying mass communication. And I'm also the president for Access for Sex Ed Club.
And hi everyone, I'm Jackie. I'm with Access Esperanza Clinics, where we work with Access for Sex Ed. So I'm here to help. If there's any questions about sex ed questions that Ivania might answer, I can help out, and to talk a little bit about the clinic that works with the club.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. So we just kind of wanted to go ahead and ask, like, how did Access for Sex Education Club get started here at UTRGV?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I can answer that because I used to be a former intern for Access for Sex Ed before it used to be the name Box. So we've been a club on campus for the since like 2010, 2011, maybe even 2009. Or 2008.
Yeah.
Like we've been on campus for a very long time. It's hard to look in our computers because I think in 2008, saving photos on computers wasn't as popular as now. So we've been on campus for a very long time, promoting safe sex practices on campus and making sure that students know about safe sex practices. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So what's the idea behind getting that information to the students here on campus?
So basically we have meetings on campus and we talk about many different topics such as birth control, safe sex practices, consent, a lot about consent, and also about how to maintain like healthy relationships. So relationship advice, friendship advice to make sure like everyone is being safe, not only with sexual relationships, but also as like relationships and friendships as well. And yeah, we do offer free condoms and pizza in every meeting. So it's really fun to like bring out students and get them more involved for their sexual health and also for like their social wellness.
Yeah, we noticed that there was a gap. I wasn't around in 2008 when the club first started, but when I was an intern, and even till now, we've noticed there's always been a gap with sex ed knowledge with students, especially down here. Sometimes you get classes, sometimes you don't, and most of the classes are like, you're gonna have sex and die, like from the main program.
Yeah.
So yeah, we wanted to make sure that there's a safe space for young adults to come and talk about experiences or things that they've always wanted to ask but didn't feel comfortable to ask.
That's awesome. Yeah, I know, speaking from my personal experience, we had like one health class that was like one semester, so it's like half of the school year, and like we only had like 1 week on sex ed, and then like in that 1 week, half of the class, and I was part of that half of the class that did a different program. So it's like we didn't even get that 1 week. So yeah, I think it's really beneficial to have it when a lot of students are kind of like not exposed to it early on.
And it's definitely very important because, part of the reason why many students might drop out of college is due to an unplanned pregnancy. So we definitely want to offer those resources for them to, practice safe practices so that, they don't happen to put an interruption in their education.
Yeah, we want to make sure that young people can reach their goals. And the Valley has one of the highest rates of repeat teen pregnancies. So it's teens who've been pregnant when they're in high school, but become pregnant again maybe when they're 18 and 19, and that's still considered a teen pregnancy. So we're not saying you can't reach your goals if you're a teen parent, but it makes it a little bit more difficult. So we want to make sure those who are teen parents, who aren't teen parents, who aren't ready to have kids, that they have the resources available so that they can decide when to have a family.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah.
Natasha and I we have like pre-meetings, and so we were talking a little bit more about that. And so we were really excited about the program because I think something that feels really real to us is that disconnect with like sex education and like our culture being so close. So like I remember my parents never taught me about that, and I was recalling my first encounter with sexual education and protection and all of that was actually at the university. I got my first condom here, and I was telling Natasha that, and it was like such a life-changing moment because they don't really teach you that when you're growing up. So is that kind of like the idea, and is it also provided to like males?
Yeah, it's provided for everyone.
Yeah, completely for everybody. We do, offer education for anyone who may have questions. We have them. We're there for you. It's a safe space. But I definitely can relate because growing up, I grew up in a Mexican household. My mom never talked about those things with me, and it was just like, cuídate, and like then you already knew what that meant. So. Definitely being able to provide that for others, that education that I didn't get growing up, like that helps a lot because it's more about, community and getting to talk to others about and share those experiences.
Yeah. And when Ivania is saying it's for everyone, we mean everyone. So if you're sexually active, if you're not sexually active, wherever you fall in the LGBTQ spectrum of gender or sexuality, we want to make sure it's a safe space for anyone to come in. We're not very heteronormative about our sexual sex ed talks, right? We try to be as inclusive as possible for everyone who comes in.
Yeah.
I think that's really important. That's like super important, just because the fact that like you all were saying earlier, students are coming from like high schools in Texas where like abstinence is still being taught. And like, it's really sad that a lot of the times with these students, like you all said, it's like too late because they already get like, the knowledge for them to like know it's too late already because they like either got pregnant or something else like happened in their life that was traumatic. So I think having the tools, and not only that, but being more inclusive about like LGBT related like sex education is just like it's something very important. And I think it was one of the main reasons why we decided to do this podcast, was just because we saw a huge gap. Like it's kind of hard to find like sexual education on campus, and it's kind of like a stigma. Like people don't want to talk about it. They would rather like just let you like figure it out on your own and like be in the shadows about it. But I think being loud and being proud and like preaching about like how sex can be something that like everyone can know about and not have to be afraid about is it's really important for incoming students, just like especially.
Yeah, definitely. And it's really important when it comes to like having that those safe spaces for incoming students, college students, because I feel like, college is that time where, you're a bit away from home, you're ready to branch out. And that's when, many people in the LGBTQ spectrum, like, decide to maybe have that little bit more freedom that they probably didn't get to have in high school. So it's really important to, provide like some answers to those questions so they can feel more comfortable with practicing what they want to like experience, basically.
Definitely.
Oh, that's great. And Natasha actually was mentioning something earlier about like Texas. Okay, yeah. So it was kind of like along the same lines of how like it's like how Jerry was saying, like a lot of schools still kind of talk about like abstinence only, and so like I think our position in the Valley is really strange because we have like a lot of like democratic like mindsets, but like we're still like very much influenced by the Republican majority in the rest of Texas. And like I think it also ties in like how we're speaking about our culture, about like how it is kind of like shunned, it's like don't talk about that, like it's like very like hush hush.
Yeah.
For some reason, sex education and working in a family planning clinic, it's very intersectional when it comes to even though we're nonpartisan, a lot of politics sometimes seeps into the work we do, like who decides to pass bills and what funding we get. The conversations between mothers and children, you'd be surprised. There's a lot of, like, you would think Latina mothers who you would see and be like, oh, they wouldn't want to talk to their daughters, but it's becoming more and more common that the conversation is more open for the newer generations to talk to their children, not just their daughters, but their sons too, about their body and about sexual health, to be safe, because they want to make sure that they have the resources. But the mothers themselves don't have the resources, so sometimes they message us like, hey, can you help us out? And we have pamphlets, and sometimes we've done mother-daughter and father-son presentations for puberty, so for kids who are in puberty.
Oh, that's such a smart idea. I never thought of that. Oh, something's happening. Can we acknowledge that? There we go. Hi, Jerry. Yeah, so one thing that I kind of wanted to touch on is, like, where do you guys stand with all of this, and how did you get involved? Because I was never aware of, like, all of the programs, all of the help, like even like Esperanza Clinic and Planned Parenthood and things like that. Like, I never knew about them until I was in university. So, like, how did you guys get involved in that and in the club and continuing that?
Well, for me, I actually recently just became involved with the club this early summer, late spring. And I remember I think I was a freshman. It was like my first year here. Like, I used to live like 40 minutes away from campus. So every time I was here, I wasn't really looking to stay late or anything like that. And I remember seeing this like table and just a bunch of like condoms just spread out and everything. And this super like sweet person was just like, hi, like, do you know about us? And I was just like so entertained. I was so like amazed. I'm like, oh wow, they're letting condoms just like right there. Like, I'm like, oh my God. But then later on, a few years later, I realized how important that experience was, because it should be that normalized. It shouldn't be such a like, oh my, you know, because you use it. Everybody does, you know, and everybody should. So I remember that. And once I started being involved with the club, and now I'm the president of the club, I'm just like, oh my, like, this is really cool, because I get to work with the club who actually like showed me that first experience of like, yeah, like gave me that epiphany that, you know, this should be more normalized, and I shouldn't feel guilty or ashamed or scared to even see something or talk about something like that.
Yeah, so when I was the president of the club, I volunteered before with the clinic, and then I really was into the mission of helping folks. And back then we just changed from UTPA to UTRGV. So it was like that change, and then we changed our name from Vox to Access for Sex Ed. So it was like two changed names, and I've always wanted to help people, and I'm really glad to still be working at the clinic and working with Ivania and all the great interns, because I worked with a couple of interns before her, and each intern brings like something special to the club and to the clinic, helping us with our mission of spreading knowledge and helping people feel empowered to make decisions about their sexual health.
And we also have like other, not just the meetings, but also like advocacy work.
Mm-hmm.
So that's definitely something that we're really looking into for the fall.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I was just gonna say that's awesome. I wanted to like kind of ask about that, the fall, because like I know we had partnered with you in the past for our restart.
Yes.
Program?
Yeah.
Fresh Start conference. And so that was more like of a virtual event. Can we expect to have more like on campus, like maybe like tabling or something, starting up in the fall maybe?
So because of protocols and things, we want to have everybody be in a safe environment. So that is like our main priority. So depending on how that works, we will be like organizing accordingly to that. But yeah, I mean, we definitely want to be doing a lot more tablings on campus, like meetings and also like events. So depending on how that works, yeah, we will definitely be, we'll be all over campus for sure.
Yeah, so it just depends because I know there's the Delta variant that's going on. So we don't know what's going to happen, if we're going to go into another lockdown or anything. But
yeah, but definitely we will be, if not on campus, we will be everything virtual and we're available like 24/7. And we're hoping maybe to have an event really soon, actually in August.
Yes.
We're going to be collaborating with some student apartments nearby, just so we can have students, incoming students, know more about the club, all while enjoying some pizza, playing some games, and swimming, enjoying just like enjoying some stuff that we have like for them. So really excited about that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
Yeah. And with that, I know you had kind of like touched base on it before, where you had said that for a lot of people, university is their first time like experimenting with these things and like understanding themselves, their sexuality, and their first experiences. I wanted to know, like, what time is a good time to start integrating this into people's lives? Because I think consent is super important, and I know that that's a part of your program. And so I feel like nobody talks about it to the extent that we need to, in my opinion. And so like, how early do you think that we should start integrating that into people's lives? And do you guys provide information for like people who are maybe like I know teen pregnancy is a thing, so like, at what age would you suggest that we start incorporating these talks?
Yeah, I can answer that. So a lot of sex educators recommend incorporating since elementary school, and more like kindergarten to start with consent. A lot of people think when we say we're gonna start in kindergarten, they're thinking, oh, they're gonna show a lot of penises and vaginas to like 5-year-olds or 6-year-olds. But no, it's more about like good touch, bad touch. These are the anatomy parts, because we all know like head, shoulders, knees, and toes, right? So it's just normalizing the anatomy parts and not calling them different names, because, sadly when sexual assault happens to children, sometimes they're not taken seriously because they're like, oh, this guy touched my bomb, because the mom told her that her vaginal area is called a bomb. So they're like, oh, that could mean anything, right? So by normalizing the sexual organs and just saying the names of it, not necessarily what sex is, and also consent, you have the right to say no. Like, even if a family member comes over and wants to hug you, you have the right to say no to the hug. You have the right to say no to a kiss from a family member. And then the conversation goes just a little more in depth as the years go on. So then by the time they're in high school and middle school and they're going through puberty, it's not as much as a shock as though like you've never heard any of this stuff before. And it helps with everyone. It doesn't matter your gender or sexuality, because consent is across the board really important. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. That really answers my question. What a great response. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
I wish like you could have talked to my parents when I was little, because like I was put in those situations where it's like I don't want to go say hi to everybody, but like we were forced to like march in a line and say hi to every single person at like my grandma's house, at like parties. It was just like, I don't know these people. Why am I saying hi to them? But No.
And that is definitely something that I took notice when I was growing up as well. I think it's like in part of our culture. It's like tienes que saludar, and if I don't do it, I'm rude. So that's why it's really important to, you know, change those habits. Like, yes, it's always good to be courteous and like welcoming, but once a child doesn't feel comfortable doing something, they should be listened to. They should be their boundaries should be respected, because the negative effects of that can result in like intimacy issues growing up. You know, there's children who have that experience tend to grow up and have issues with, you know, touching and boundaries. So it's definitely very important to take note of that and to actually normalize saying no, even to a simple thing as just saying, like giving a hug to someone.
Or if someone comes in, leans in for a kiss, because you know, like pre-COVID, everyone was even like female to me, female, like when they say hi, they're like kiss or one kiss. And thinking about it now, I'm like, maybe we should not do that as much. Just be like, hi, not even a handshake, like a wave, like fist bump, like Obama did, like let's just fist bump. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. It's one of those things where it's so deep inside of us and like the way that we grew up that it's kind of difficult to change the way that everybody else, like before us, thinks about it, because we're still learning about it. But I think that it's such a smart idea, and I think because it's like classified under sexual education, you don't tend to like hear that mixed into like elementary school ages, but it definitely needs to be happening. And is that like the goal? Like, are we going to hopefully like try to progress like a little bit further into like being able to have these conversations with younger people?
I think so. Yeah, definitely. I feel like, I mean, the mission is to just normalize these type of conversations, because once we normalize it, people will feel more comfortable to speak up and share their experiences and ask more questions, which is great. The more the merrier. We love answering questions. So yeah, that is the main goal, to just branch out to as many people as possible, to get them comfortable with their own sexuality and their own health. Because yeah, it does, it matters.
Nice. Natasha, do you have any more questions?
Not at the moment. Jerry, do you have any questions?
I was just gonna add to it, like I know we're kind of all reflecting, at least me and like Natasha, reflecting on how we like grew up and how we wish it would have been different. But if anything, the silver lining is it's gonna teach us how to be better parents. It's gonna teach us how to like handle those situations when they come with our kids, and like make sure that they grow up and like understand boundaries, and make sure that they didn't go through the same thing we did, and just be like a better, like, if anything, it just normalizes and makes things better for like our grandkids and like their future generations and stuff. And at the same time, it's giving us like a safe space in college. So once again, I think y'all's club is amazing, and I really hope that our first years and, you know, our like students that are coming to UTRGV know that this kind of support doesn't exist at every university, and we're really happy that that you all are upkeeping it and making sure that like those students feel safe.
Thank you so much.
Do you think we can talk for a second about the clinic?
Of course.
That we have in Hidalgo County.
Yeah, for sure.
So we are one of the I think we are the oldest family planning clinic in Hidalgo County, nonprofit, and we offer a lot of free, like I say free, but you can't see my face. It's free. Like Oprah, you get a card, right? You get you get condoms, you get pills. So we offer free birth control, STI testing, Pap smears for those over 21, diabetes, cholesterol testing, management, physical exams. And all of it is free, and most students qualify because it depends on your income.
Yeah, and you can go in with your financial aid as proof of income as well. So yeah, most students do qualify for completely free services. So that is something that we like to talk to our members about, and everyone who joins our meetings, that if they're ever in a situation where they might need an STI test or just want birth control to go to one of the clinics, and that is available for them right away.
Mhm. And it's not just one free STI test, you can get as many STI tests, and we're not gonna judge. And we're not chismosa about like who comes to the clinic, we won't tell anyone, we're completely confidential. We see so many patients, we won't even remember if you come in like 3 times a year, 4 times a year. So come on in, a lot of symptoms of STIs, there's no symptoms, so it's really important to get tested if you're sexually active. Even if you use a condom, it's not 100% effective. Yes.
Cool. What about even if we're, sorry, like
It's
now,
okay.
now I'm just curious, like, oh, I lost my train of thought, I'm so
It's okay.
embarrassed now. But how do we, like, how would we go about making, an appointment?
Okay, yeah. So you can check out our website, accessclinics.org. And on there, there's a make an appointment tab. You can do that, or you can message us on Instagram or Facebook at either our Access for Sex Ed or Access Esperanza Clinics Instagram or Facebook, and we can help you out through there. You can also give us a call at 956-688-3700, 3700, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And our clinics in McAllen are open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The other clinics are open at various times, so I don't know them off the top of my head, but we have one here in Edinburgh, Mission, and Westlaco.
Nice, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And well, I'm so excited for our listeners to get all of this information and, hopefully have, better education on these things than we did, especially because they're incoming. And so thank you guys so much for joining.
Yeah.
us. I don't have any more questions.
Yeah, neither do I. Do y'all want to like talk about anything else?
I mean, we do have a series on our
Yeah, I forgot
socials.
about that.
Set quickie is what we like to call it. So it's just videos talking about different types of subjects. We did one on we did an event. It was really cute. It was a pride painting party. So we collaborated with the Center for Diversity, Inclusion, and Dream Resource Center, just talking about what Pride means to us, some history behind Pride, as well as just drawing our flags. And it was a lot of fun. And tomorrow we actually have a first episode of our 2-part series of STIs. So that's just giving a bit more information on bacterial STIs and then the viral STIs.
Will be the next video. And if you'd like us to come anytime to, like, if you have like a lot of questions from freshmen, we would love to come and we can collaborate with y'all and we can maybe do a sex ed quickie about that. Yeah, that'd be fun.
I forgot to set that up.
Yeah.
We're so excited.
Yeah.
And definitely for our summer pool party, we will be having it at the Rio Apartments, which houses a lot of UTRGV students. And anybody is welcome to come and join in to, learn more about the club, play some fun sex education games, eat some pizza, swim. It's going to be a lot of fun and definitely going to be like a safe space just to ask any questions, get some conversations going.
Yeah. And you can find that on our Facebook and Instagram, Access for Sex Ed. Yes. Yeah.
Nice.
And I was like, do you all still use Facebook? No, but Instagram, you can look at it on Instagram.
Yeah.
We'll make sure to link it, especially with the posting of our podcast.
Yeah, that'd be great.
We'll have the links.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all we have today. If
Jerry, do you have any questions?
No, like I have like that's awesome that you all are that exist, and yeah, I'm really excited for those partnerships. I think we definitely should do something maybe closer to when the fall students like settle in for the fall. We can like definitely have an info session, maybe like live on Facebook. That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
That'll be great.
Yeah, we would love to collaborate. Yeah.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Pardon?
You said
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say fantastic. Yeah. Thank you all so much.
Maybe we can say about the Angel Project.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We will be starting, our advocacy work soon. It's definitely on the planning spectrum right now, but we will be doing a project called the Angel Project. It's something that has been already applied to the UK in some areas there for like bars and nightclubs. So that's something that we wanted to bring in to the nightlife here in the Valley. So basically the Angel Project is having to train and talk to bars and clubs and getting them to implement what is called the Angel Shot.
Mhm.
Mostly that's for the bartenders, and is Angela working here for other
People who work in the bar.
people who work in the bar. So basically it's if you feel unsafe with someone that you're in a bar with, if you feel like it's not really going so well, you don't feel comfortable, or you feel like you're in danger, you go up to the bartender and you ask, can I have an Angel Shot? If it's with lime, it means call the police. I feel unsafe, I'm in danger. If it's clean, I need a ride home, so like they can call you an Uber or something. And I think the other one is on the rocks. That means, take me to my car. So we want to implement that a lot in nightlife here in the Valley, especially because it's really popular right now. It's really like blowing up, and there's so many students here who actually go downtown McAllen, bars here nearby. So it's really important to implement that. I guess how you may call it, like
A safety plan.
yeah, like a safety plan, and also
Mhm.
to be able to interfere with dangerous situations. That way, like someone may not be in like even more danger later on. So we definitely want to apply that, and we hope to start with our proposals, getting to talk with bars and clubs in downtown McAllen, so they can start implementing that very soon. So yeah, I'm really excited about it.
We're planning that in September, October.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
interesting. Especially as someone that that's over 21 and the whole like nightlife scene. I feel like when I turned 21 we had COVID. So I feel like I haven't really been as integrated in the scene, but that's interesting.
Yeah, and that's also another reason why, because it's like, we've been in lockdown. Downtown McAllen is a very everybody wants to go there in the weekend. So after lockdown, and now that, I know with the Delta variant is we're taking a few steps back.
Yeah.
But in the future, once things are safer, people are going to want to run back, have fun. So it's definitely very important to have that implemented in case anybody feels unsafe, in case anybody needs someone to help them feel safer. So being that angel, that's why it's called the Angel Project. Like, being that angel for them is what matters.
Well, thank you so much for informing us about that, and I really do hope that the project gets started and that you are able to implement that in bars, because I think that's revolutionary to say the least. So I'm really excited.
Yeah, we're excited too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very excited. Hopefully.
Well, if that is all you guys have to share, well, then we can, I guess, end the podcast here. Once again, thank you so much for coming on. You shared some really amazing information about Access for Sex Ed and your role here on campus. And we just really appreciate you guys coming on.
Thanks for inviting us.
Yeah, thank you
We
so
had
much.
fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So
Yeah.
thank you.
So if that's it, then we can just say goodbye.
Bye, guys.